how I might define myself or describe myself to others. And this is an activity I used to do in the classroom when I used to teach. I taught for 12 years before I actually became an administrator. In addition to teaching at the university level, I taught adult education and I also taught high school. I taught freshman and sophomore composition for 2 years. So there was an activity when let's hear it for composition. Doc, I see you there. And it's truly God's work, teaching composition to 9th and 10th graders. Truly God's work. Faculty, you think you got a tough job. You teach 5 sections of freshman composition 5 days a week. But that's another story. First of all, I'm an African-American male. Oh, let me go back. I used to do this exercise in my class, my basic communication class I used to teach at University of Illinois when I began teaching. I'd say to the students, I want you to just take these free association, just write down I am, and then describe to me what comes out. I am, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so for this speech, I said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to say I am. So I came up with, I am an African-American male in a country that continues to struggle with issues of race and class and really doesn't know what to do with me. African-American male. Now, there's an election that will be going on real soon, and maybe we can get an answer to some of those questions about what to do with an African-American male in America. Don't know, but we'll see. But that's part of who I am, and that governs how I comport myself and how I see the world. 2, a professor who is honored to teach students while learning from them simultaneously. Love the classroom. Love the teaching and learning process because of what I can share, but also what I gain every day from my students. I told a group earlier today at one of our meetings that I'm really a professor disguised as a president. And after the presidency is over and life continues, I'll be a professor. I'll be back in the classroom. Thirdly, I'm the president of an institution defined by excellence, yet challenged by a changing academic environment replete with uncertainty. President of an institution defined by excellence, yet challenged. I'll underscore the challenge, because when I get to the section on vision, where we're going, we must speak to the challenges facing higher education and Howard University. Things are changing, but we are and we will be prepared. 4th, I'm a humble child of God, feeling blessed this day to be here and given another opportunity to do what's right. And finally, I'm a man of purpose, integrity, and conviction. I stand for certain things, I believe in them, and I will fight tenaciously to see that justice and equality and fairness is afforded to all of our citizens. That can't be compromised. Everyone deserves a right to be treated decently and with human dignity. And we must not only say that, but exemplify that in all of our actions as an institution. If I want to summarize this, what I would say quickly is that, and this is a different way, this is not straight prose narrative. I'd say, Doctor, if I was music, I'd be jazz. If I was a color, I'd be blue. If I was a number, I'd be 3. If I was a book in the Bible, I'd be Psalms. And if I was a leader, I'd be the personification of the people, because a leader cannot separate him or herself from the people. That is Sidney Ribeau. Now, the idea for that, or to talk about myself, I must confess, came from our student trustees. Yesterday I had lunch with our alumni trustee and 2 of our student trustees, and I said, have a big speech tomorrow. What do you think I should say? What should I talk about? And they gave me a lot to talk about. One thing they said is, the students want to know who you are. Not just what you do, but who you are. And that's Danielle. Where's Danielle? That's who I am. So I come to Howard University prepared and ready to serve, And I come to you from a human perspective and a set of principles and beliefs that I've tried to share with you a few moments ago. That's who I am. And now let's talk about Howard University and what we must do. But that's who I am. The spirit of Howard University is steeped in a rich tradition, one committed to justice, equality, and a fertile ground for the creation of leadership. A representative list of national prominence will indicate a number of Howard alums. I want to just share with you some of these. This list is not exhaustive, because if it was, it would take my entire speech just to list on the national and local level leadership that's come from Howard University. But just a few. Mayor of Richmond, Virginia, and former governor of Virginia, L. Douglas Wilder, who happens to be a Board of Trustee member. First black governor in the United States, Wilder. A Howard man. All right? And he continues to serve and give his expertise to this institution and to our board. Nobel laureate and Pulitzer Prize winner, Toni Morrison. Current Premier of Bermuda, Ewart Brown. And I've heard stories about, I've never met, Ewart Brown, but I've heard stories about his days here as a student. And where's Nick, our student body president? Is he? Oh, okay. Now, you talk about leadership and activism. I heard Ewart Brown was walking the yard on a regular basis, wreaking terror and havoc. Ewart Brown, great leader. The chairman of Microsoft Africa, Sheikh Diarra. Great leader. Presidential advisor, investment banker, and power broker, Vernon Jordan, our own Board of Trustee member. Former chairman of Alliance Capital Management International and of Equitable Capital Management, Frank Savage, who I've met with in New York. A Howard man. Current CNN anchor Frederica Whitfield and opera star Jesse Norman. These are all Howard's children. And on the national level, they illustrate a case study in excellence and achievement. I could go on the local level, and I could go state to state and name leadership, people who make a difference, and say that these are people that came from Howard University. But there's one individual that I want to highlight for just a few moments that was on the search committee that actually hired me, who is one of Howard's children and also a remarkable medical researcher and just an incredible individual and a faculty member here at Howard University. Because, as I said to Chairman Rand on many occasions, if we are to achieve the excellence we desire as we move forward, it will only be through the efforts of the faculty. Great universities are driven by great faculty. That's just the bottom line. Presidents are important, but only so important. Senior level administrators are important, only so important. The faculty are the intellectual trust of the institution, they're the academic vision of the institution, and they're critically important to all that we do. So this is an individual who is a national figure, but also one of our faculty members. And this is Dr. Lascelles Lafall. Dr. Lafall has been on faculty here at Howard for 47 years. 47 years. He's a graduate of the medical school of Howard, and he graduated at age 22 from the Howard Medical School. He is a surgical oncologist who has the distinction of serving as the first African-American president of a number of organizations. Kappa Phi Honor Society, American College of Surgeons, the American Cancer Society, the Society of Black Academic Surgeons, just to name some of them. He has received over 9 honorary doctorate degrees. But in addition to all that, he is a man of humility, a man of concern, and a man who cares for his fellow human beings. And I think that for all of the people that I mentioned and the thousands of others who are unmentioned, because that's the highlights.